Have you ever wondered about the true meaning behind the saying, "The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked will perish"? This profound proverb, number 10 verse 28, originates from the Bible, a book rich in wisdom and life lessons. Despite its ancient origins, this proverb resonates deeply in our modern world, reminding us of the power of hope and the consequences of wickedness. The structure of the proverb presents two contrasting scenarios: the hopeful outlook of the righteous and the fleeting expectations of the wicked. The righteous, those who live in accordance with moral and ethical principles, find joy in their hope. On the other hand, the wicked, those who choose a path contrary to righteousness, see their expectations wither away. Now that we've introduced our proverb, let's delve a little deeper into its meaning. When we talk about the hope of the righteous, what exactly do we mean? To understand this, let's first delve into the concept of righteousness as per the Bible. Righteousness, in biblical terms, is often associated with a state of moral uprightness or living according to God's laws. It's about making decisions that are just, fair, and in accordance with divine principles. But righteousness is not just about following rules. It's also about the condition of your heart and the purity of your intentions. It's about love, compassion, and empathy towards others. It's about walking in integrity even when no one is watching. Now, what does the Bible mean when it talks about the hope of the righteous? This hope isn't just a wishful thinking or a faint desire. Rather, it's a deep-seated assurance, a steadfast belief in the ultimate justice of God. It's a confident expectation that good will prevail, that wrongs will be righted, and that truth will triumph in the end. This hope is like a buoy in the stormy seas of life. It keeps the righteous from sinking in the waves of despair, doubt, and discouragement. It's a beacon of light in the darkest hours, a source of strength in the toughest challenges. And this hope leads to gladness. But what is this gladness? It's not just a fleeting feeling of happiness or a momentary burst of joy. It's a deep, enduring sense of peace and satisfaction. It's the joy of knowing that you are in alignment with the divine will, that you are living a life of purpose and meaning. It's the satisfaction of knowing that you are making a positive difference in the world, that you are contributing to the greater good. In essence, the hope of the righteous is a powerful force. It uplifts the spirit, strengthens the soul, and fills the heart with gladness. It's a testament to the power of faith, the resilience of the spirit, and the transformative potential of love. So, the righteous, with their hope, find joy. But what happens to the wicked? On the flip side, we have the expectation of the wicked. What does this entail? Well, to understand this, we first need to delve into the concept of wickedness as per the Bible. In biblical terms, wickedness doesn't solely refer to evil deeds, but rather to a state of being that is in opposition to what is good and righteous. It describes a person who is self-centered, who disregards the well-being of others, and who is driven by selfish desires. This could manifest in various ways, such as greed, envy, deceit, or even violence. Now, let's consider what the expectation of the wicked might be. Given their self-centered nature, it's reasonable to assume that their expectations would be heavily influenced by their selfish desires. They might expect to gain wealth through dishonest means, to achieve power at the expense of others, or to find happiness in the misfortune of their fellow beings. These expectations are not grounded in righteousness or justice, but rather in the pursuit of personal gain, often at the expense of others. So what happens to these expectations? The proverb tells us they will perish. This can be understood in a few ways. Firstly, these expectations might simply go unfulfilled. The universe, in its inherent balance, often has a way of denying ill-gotten gains. Secondly, even if these expectations are realized, they often lead to disappointment. Wealth gained dishonestly might bring momentary pleasure, but it rarely brings lasting happiness or peace. Finally, these expectations could end in ruin. Greed, deceit, and selfishness often lead to a downfall, whether it's in the form of lost relationships, a tarnished reputation, or even legal consequences. So, while the righteous find joy in their hope, the wicked face disappointment with their expectations. But what can we take away from this? Tune into our next segment to find out. So, what does this proverb teach us? As we delve into the conclusion and takeaways from Proverbs 10:28, we gather that it offers us two distinct yet intertwined teachings. Firstly, it tells us about the hope of the righteous, and secondly, it warns us of the perils of the wicked's expectations. Starting with the righteous, this proverb highlights the importance of hope. It is not just any hope, but the hope of those who strive to live their lives with integrity, fairness, and kindness. This hope leads to gladness, a deep-seated joy that transcends the fleeting pleasures of the world. It's a joy that is born out of doing what is right, out of making choices that honor not just ourselves, but those around us. On the flip side, the proverb warns us about the expectations of the wicked. It doesn't just say that these expectations will not be met, but that they will perish. It's a stark and powerful reminder that choices made in wickedness, actions driven by malice, greed, or selfishness, lead to disappointment and loss. What makes this proverb so timeless is its universal relevance. No matter what era we live in, the moral compass it provides remains the same. It guides us towards righteousness, urging us to make choices that align with our better selves. It warns us of the dangers of wickedness, of the disappointment and heartache that follow when we let our lesser selves dictate our actions. In essence, this proverb provides a roadmap for navigating the complexities of life. It encourages us to choose the path of righteousness, to seek out actions and choices that bring joy not just to ourselves, but to those around us. It warns us against the path of wickedness, reminding us that expectations born out of selfishness and malice will ultimately perish. Remember, the hope of the righteous leads to joy, while the expectation of the wicked ends in disappointment. Let this proverb guide us in our daily lives as we strive for righteousness and avoid wickedness.